I got to a 173 with one child and one on the way. Hi, welcome to Life with Ajene. I'm Ajene, and today I'm going to be talking to you about how to break into the 170s on the LSAT. I started off at a 149 diagnostic and got all the way to a 173. I'm going to be giving you my top 3 tips right now on how to achieve a 170 plus score on the LSAT. So listen closely, this could be helping you. So my first tip, find a tool that speaks to you. I know that some people may be struggling financially to invest in resources, and you actually know what? My first time taking the test, I only used the things that were free to me. I didn't pay for anything. I used an old Kaplan book that I bought for my husband when he had to study for the LSAT, when he was interested in going to law school. After I used that book and got the principles down, I went on to Khan Academy, because at the time, Khan Academy was the free resource. Khan Academy had a bunch of lessons and practice tests and questions that you could use to make those conditions more equitable for study. Today, Khan Academy doesn't have the free things anymore for the LSAT preparation. Law Hub does. So if you want free resources for LSAT study that are provided by LSAT, go to Law Hub and you can actually have access to free materials to help you study for the LSAT. Now here's the thing, my free route, it took me somewhere good. Like, I was able to achieve a 166 as my top score with those free resources. After 2 attempts, the first attempt I got a 166, the second attempt I didn't do significantly higher, so I canceled it. Dumb, by the way. Don't cancel your score unless it is just truly outrageously low. Yeah, me not scoring significantly higher and thinking, I'm just gonna cancel it and it doesn't show progress. Like, just do not do that to yourself, because it's gonna look much worse to just cancel that, because it's like, oh no, what happened? Than to just leave that alone. I just wish I never canceled my score. I wish I just kept all my scores there. But regardless, it's gone. I canceled one. Listen from my mistakes, do not do that. Back to the main point of the tip, find a tool that speaks to you. So again, my free resources got me to that 90th percentile score. It was great. But the resources took me as far as I thought they were gonna go. And then I happened upon a resource that just costs money. They had a free version, and then I liked their methodology and how they taught things, so then I decided to invest in the paid version, because I thought, you know what, if I actually practice with this tool, then this tool can actually take me to the next level. And I'm not gonna say what that tool is in this video, because I want you to focus on what I'm saying right now, which is focus on a tool that speaks to you. Now, if anybody wants me to do another video on specific tools and my thoughts about them and what speaks to me or what spoke to me during my journey, I can do that, but I'm gonna focus on just the principles right now. So this first one, find a tool that speaks to you. If the tool that speaks to you and is helping you better understand this test, it's unlocking this test for you, costs money, put some money down. Because you're putting a little bit of money down now, it's saving you tens of thousands, possibly hundreds of thousands of dollars later down the road. A tool that speaks to you is the difference between going to school and just getting in versus going to school and getting great amounts of tuition covered for you. And that's not the end all be all results of that situation, but I just think it's worth remembering that not all tools are created equal, especially to your learning style. Different tools speak to different learning styles. And so the goal is to find something that makes this test make sense to you, that makes this test feel easy enough to you where you can actually break that with some time and some practice. Now, this leads me to my second point. Tip number 2, consistency, not overload. Some of my first advice was to study for this test and study all day, every day. Go hard, do it all, never stop. You should only be taking breaks for bathroom, shower, food and water, and you study, and you practice until you get it. And you're gonna have like the longest couple of months in your life, and you're gonna slam it down, and then that's how you get to that score. That's not how I got to the score. I Actually, what worked a lot better for me was doing this over a longer period of time in bite-sized pieces. So eventually what worked for me was not doing hours and hours and hours and hours in the day and locking myself in a room and just LSAT and nothing but the LSAT. What actually worked for me was taking an hour to 3 or 4 hours a day and studying and understanding the test and practicing the test, and then stopping and then doing it again the next day, and doing that for months at a time. My first section of attempts at the test and application, that was over the process of about 2 months of testing, and then I waited until all my results came back from my cycle. And then when I decided to get into studying again, I studied from December up until the January test. I had done a little bit of studying here and there around September, October, but I wasn't like seriously going hard until December. So essentially I gave myself a month again. What was my progress? A 167. Because I didn't give myself enough time. So I paused, went back to the drawing board, and I said, okay, I'm gonna give myself a little bit more time. So from January up until the April test, I was studying. So now I had my first 2 attempts. I took another one in January. I had my 4th attempt in April of 2023. And so from January to April, I studied, and I gave myself chunks of time between an hour to 4 hours usually every day to just study. I already had the principles of the test down, so I didn't have to take any long days to really understand the test. I knew the test at this point. It was a matter of practicing, and then telling myself why to get the right answer right, why to get the wrong answer wrong. And by April, I got my 173. And before that test, I was consistently testing between the ranges of 171, 172, up into 178, right? So actually, I know that I could have done better than that 173. I had consistent scores of 175 to 178 right before that test with my practice tests, but leveled out to 173 at the end. And I'm proud of that 173. Very proud. And this only happened because I stopped overloading myself. When I overloaded myself and I was doing too much, I was exhausted. The test was exhausting. The process was exhausting. And it just didn't make sense. And actually, when you think about how you build skills over time, people do that through, yes, hours of practice, but really the muscle memory is gained by just giving yourself time, like a good range of time. And honestly, I think even then, I'm telling you, I got this 173 from December all the way to April. That's January, February, March, April. January, February, March. That's like 4 months. I really could have taken a year of just studying on its own and probably, who knows, gotten whatever other score. But this was enough for me. This is when I started getting those consistent scores. What are you taking your time to do? You're taking your time to problem spot and understanding. Because if you can problem spot, if you're reading arguments or you're reading passages and you're noting different issues as you go through and understanding those passages to be able to critique those as you go along and accurately do so, you've unlocked the test. And games was like testing on that too, but a slightly different way. And logical reasoning and reading comp go more hand in hand with that. So now the games are going, you really are just using your time to practice those skills of problem spotting and understanding those passages. And once you do that, you got it. You can do this. And with all that being said, also don't rush your process. Do not rush your process. Wait until you get those consistent scores. I'd say about 5 to 10 tests. And then go and take the test. And then after you get the score, then apply. Don't rush your process. Rushing your process is gonna cost you a lot of money. Tip number 3. Teaching. Teaching is the answer. You can do this through studying groups, you can do this through some kind of job, whatever it takes. But when you have to go through these questions and explain why the right answer is right and why the wrong answer is wrong, but out loud and to another person so they can understand it, oftentimes you're gonna have to do that and put that in a simple term, which shows level of mastery. Like, you can't really put things in simple terms until you've mastered the concept, and then you can break it down. And so teaching how things are right and how things are wrong on the LSAT is something that's gonna help you get to that next level, right? I really believe that being able to teach others how things are right and wrong on the test, and accurately doing so, not just like attempting and not doing the right stuff, but like unlocking it for yourself and being able to explain that to others. You can do that in a safe space, again, like a study group, and just practice doing that with each other. You can get a formal job. It can be kind of hard to come by if you don't already have a 170 plus score though. But doing that, practicing that I think is what really took me from that 160 practice test range up into the 170s. So if you're really looking to get in the 170s, I think that last piece about teaching and practicing explaining things to others is gonna get you there. But I think you really don't get there until you hit those other two tips though. So these are in order actually. So tip 1 comes first, tip 2 comes second, tip 3 comes third. So yeah, that's just my 2 cents. But go be merry, and I wish you the best of luck getting that 170 plus. If you all want, I can do more videos on LSAT preparation to get to those top scores. I can talk about what to do on test day to reduce anxiety and to give yourself the best chance of scoring. And I can talk about what to do between tests to keep your skills up. I'm also gonna be applying this fall of 2025. So subscribe to my channel, and then you can join my law school application journey with me and see where I end up. I'm gonna be talking about my application process, what it's like writing my essays, how I'm choosing to do those, what I'm choosing to talk about, and what my results are at the end. We're gonna see. So if you wanna follow my journey with me, please subscribe to my channel and learn some more with me and follow my journey. All right, that's the end of this video. See you next time.